As staff are engaged in active supervision, one of the main responsibilities in a classroom for students with severe disabilities is to encourage independence to the extent possible by the students. Some students will require prompting to partially participate in the activities. It is important that staff understand the evidence-based practice, or EBP, of prompting. Prompting should be automatic and routine when staff are actively supervising students with significant disabilities. We use prompting strategies to increase the likelihood that students will respond correctly. Prompting is one of our main teaching tools used to teach a variety of skills, including academics, functional, and social skills. Staff need to be skilled in fading prompts as soon as possible to encourage our students to be more independent. We know that prompting is an effective teaching tool for students with and without disabilities and for a variety of disabilities. The classroom needs to have a standard prompting hierarchy. The hierarchy provides a sequence of prompts in order of the amount of assistance it will provide. There are a couple of different hierarchies in the literature. It is important that the classroom functions on one hierarchy. This graphic displays one prompting hierarchy. To use a prompting hierarchy effectively, staff need to know how to break tasks into small parts or complete a task analysis. Staff then need to decide beforehand whether to do least to most or most to least prompting strategy. Definition: a prompt is any teacher behavior that causes the student to know how to do a skill correctly, and it increases the probability of correct responding. Natural stimulus: no additional prompting from the teacher is needed. For example, student sees a dirty table and cleans it. Gestures: hand motions, pointing, head nodding, or other nonverbals. For example, staff head nod toward the dirty table. Verbal: the use of a specific verbal statement that tells the student what to do. For example, when playing checkers, the person right next to the student would say, "When my piece is next to yours like that, you need to jump it. Go ahead and jump my piece now." A verbal prompt is not a suggestion or a cueing direction. "Let's play checkers" is a suggestion or cueing direction, but not a verbal prompt. A verbal prompt is a specific direction on a step of the overall skill. Visual prompt: two-dimensional prompts such as words, symbols, and signs. For example, provide a picture or drawing of a clock with clock hands arranged to indicate a particular time, with pictures showing individuals engaged in certain activities appropriate for that time. For example, relaxing at break. Model: demonstrating the behavior. Staff puts on the coat to show the student how to do it. Prerequisite: the student needs to have attending and imitation skills. If imitation and attending is limited, staff may need to combine with other prompts. Partial and full physical prompts. With a full prompt, staff places their hand over the student's hand and guides them to do the action. For example, getting a glass of water. It is considered the most intrusive and controlling prompt. It should be used only when the student will not respond to less direct methods of prompting. A partial physical prompt is a touch, including nudge, tap, guidance partially through the movement or contact. Always pair physical with less intrusive prompts such as verbal and gestures. The prompting hierarchy may be used in several different ways. There are 6 basic prompting strategies. In the Systematic Instruction module, these prompting methods were discussed. Please refer to this module for details for using these prompting strategies as far as when and how. It is important that staff develop skills in using these methods and incorporate them into the lessons when actively supervising students with significant disabilities. Here are some final considerations to keep in mind when actively supervising students. Model respect and dignity to others. Be aware of your tone of voice and choice of words when giving students feedback. Chronological versus developmental age. Consider both chronological and developmental ages when developing tasks and expectations for the student. Materials should be age-appropriate as possible. Never talk about people in front of them unless they are included. Provide choices when possible, and never ask unless the person has a choice. Take a moment and review handout number 1, Active Supervision Fact Sheet, and handout number 2, Active Supervision. Handout number 1, Active Supervision Fact Sheet, is a general summary of this lesson on moving, scanning, and interacting within the classroom. Handout number 2, Active Supervision, is a summary chart provided by the Office of Special Education Programs for an overview of active supervision. You may obtain both of these handouts by clicking on the links at the bottom of the slide. Let's check our learning. Answer these 2 questions on active supervision. Upon completion, Lesson 5 is concluded, and you may move on to Lesson 6, Planned Reactive Strategies.